Hello and welcome back to Comtech's Flash Game Unit. Now today we're going to be working on jumping, gravity, and a few other new concepts. So first thing we're going to do is go to your char layer, right click, actions, and we're going to be adding some more code. So as stated in the last video, onClip event enter frame runs every frame of the game. There's another type of clip event, and that's called onClip event load. We're just going to copy this over. And what this does is this code will only run once, and it's going to declare two variables. It's going to declare ground as a movie clip, and this is what it is. It's root.ground, which is the platform we built yesterday. Now, our touching ground is called a boolean. Now, a boolean is an A or a B variable. It's true or it's false. Now we're going to get touching ground working as a variable. So open up the notepad and grab the ifground.hitTest. Paste it anywhere within enter frame. And it's another if statement, and it's going to do a hit test against ground, which is just going to check if they are touching. It's going to check ground against Rx and Ry, and if it is true, it's going to set touching ground to true. Now, we want to make sure that it's working, so grab the second piece of code here, and paste it in right underneath. We're going to be deleting this in a minute though. So it's just going to do, if touching ground is true, we're going to set our x to 1000. So hopefully, if this works, we won't be able to see our character. And there we go. So our character was moved to 1000 on the x, which is way off of our screen, so we can't see him. Now if we delete it, he's back, and we can still move. Now that we can tell if we're on ground, we're going to add a little more code to allow us to jump. Go to your clip event load, and add in this code. Now these are both to do with gravity, and you'll see why we need two in a minute. Next, grab this code here, and just throw it in at the top of your enter frame. Now don't run the game just yet, because it will probably crash. Now we're just going to add in 3 more snippets of code, and then it will be working. So we're going to append that the hit test that we wrote earlier. We're just going to replace it with this one. It's going to add a few more things. So it's going to subtract our y by gravity. And remember, when you subtract, your y will actually go up because all y's are inverted. And it will reset our grav to 0. And then when we're not touching the ground, it's going to turn touching ground to false. Now this is important since this will make it so we can't jump in the air. Now we're going to grab the next piece of code, which is our key up. And this will actually allow us to jump. I'm going to put it right here. So it checks to see that our up key is down and touching ground is true. If you leave it blank like that, it just means true. But I'll add it in. And then if so, it's going to set our gravity to -21. Now we can tweak this value later, but it has to be negative if we want to jump. And the last piece of code, one more hit test. We're going to put this right at the bottom of our enter frame. There we go. Now this hit test is going to check that we are both on the ground and that our y is less than its height. And then if so, it's going to move us up a little. Now if we run the game, we can see that we still move left and right, and if we press up, we do a little jump. Now, right now we can hold up to jump higher, and that lets us fall through the ground, and we don't want that. So let's go back into the code, and I'll fix this for you guys, but I need a hyphen right there, or an underscore. And now if I go, I can no longer jump super high, but I still clip through the ground a little. Now that's okay for all our purposes, but we'll fix that in a later video if we run into a platform that's too small. Now we'll call that a day for this video. We got the ground working, we got jumping and gravity working, and in the next video we'll start to actually build our platforms. We'll actually start to get something resembling a game working.